When you don't have your Remington Award-winning center out there, that quarterback-center exchange is going to be important today.
Well, Jamie Chadwell told us our best chance in this game is keeping Bo Nix off the field. Liberty won the toss, and they're going to put their offense out there first, elected to receive to try and set the tone, and they'll start out at their own 25-yard line. And before the game began, we were mic'd up on the field with Caden Salter.
That's not ball. Do what you do, bro. Love you, man. Let's go. So I need my visor cleaned up.
I'll do during stretch. Get to during stretch.
How you doing?
I'm Steve.
Yes, sir.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
You ready to play?
Most definitely.
I got your back.
He seemed mellow during the pregame warm-up, but RG3, how do you settle his nerves down early?
You get him an easy completion. Let him see the ball completed and feel a part of this game.
Swings one to Bedgood on first down. And Aaron Bedgood has nowhere to go. As he loses 3, it'll be 2nd and 13. The Group 5 Player of the Year was Caden Salter. 43 touchdowns responsible for, not only tied 3rd in FBS, but that is already a Liberty record. 31 touchdown passes behind the chains to begin.
Yes, and he saw the ball completed there on the first play. It went backwards. It's not really what you want. But the next thing they want to do is get him involved in the running game as far as the quarterback running triple option.
There's the pitch. Bedgood has a crease. Bedgood to the sideline with a broken tackle. Hammers his way out of bounds in Oregon territory with a late flag thrown as well.
These boys getting ready to play.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 98, defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
You're going to see the triple option action. Hey, defensive end comes to me. I'm going to pitch it to Bedgood. And then he does the rest, breaking little arm tackles, running physical down the field, out of bounds, and gets hit late right there at the very end. You can clearly see, oh my goodness. The fact that he weighs 165 pounds probably aided in that hit right there, Bob.
A year ago, Aaron Bedgood was selling insurance. Now he's picking up 34. And Salter to throw. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Incomplete. A high riser that C.J. Daniels couldn't pull down. Liberty, though, they told us they were going to take their shots. We've already seen it.
Yes, they do. They go here with a double post. Receiver throws his hand up. That lets you know that he's wide open. And Caden Salter knows he just missed that one. You got a guy that wide open, sometimes you got to take a little bit off it and allow him to run underneath the football.
Bedgood and Cooley to either side of Salter. And now the pre-snap motion we were told we would see. Salter takes off. Gets walloped. After a gain of 8, Evan Williams came up and popped him right on the doorstep of the red zone.
Yeah, Evan Williams, he's a guy that, oh my goodness, low man wins, puts his shoulder right into his chest right there. They ran the quarterback draw, but Evan Williams has 4.5 sacks this year. You know he likes to hit. They like to bring him on pressures. He is not running away from contact.
When the Liberty sidelines saw Salter's head snap, they were hoping that replay would intervene and it might be a targeting review. Instead, it's a 3rd down handoff to Quentin Cooley, and he's got the first down into the red zone. He picks up 4.
And right there is what you see, the reason why Liberty has been so good on 3rd downs. They're almost always in 3rd and manageables, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3, and they can go out there and utilize a guy like Quentin Cooley, who they call a bowling ball. I say he's a bowling ball of butcher knives. Kind of built like my partner here, Bob, was choosing, but he gets the job done in the running game.
Quentin has visited the media buffet along with me, is what you're saying? Not nice. Salter back to throw. Back corner of the end zone. Drops it into Bentley Hanshaw for the Liberty touchdown.
What a throw. I can't wait to show you guys that one. You're going to see the play action fake and just the patience right here from Caden Salter. Look at how far he throws this one and how close it was to being knocked down by safety Evan Williams. Oh, amazing throw and catch.
They leave a point on the field, though, as Nick Brown hooks the point after left. So it's only 6-0 for Liberty.
You're going to see the play action fake, and they're going to sneak Hinshaw from one side of the formation all the way back across. And there it is. Touchdown, finds that Wi-Fi connection, and look at the celebration afterward.
You are watching the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl. "31 of the last 32 quarters that Liberty has played, they have scored with this opening drive touchdown. Their coaching booth right next door to us loves it. Here's why.
And yes, you're going to see Bentley Hinshaw is going to be right here. He's going to come across the formation, sneak out the back end, and then you're going to watch Caden Salter on the play action pass. And if you actually pause it right here, he's going to make this throw from here to over here. Just a beauty of a layered throw as he allows his tight end to get outside and make this catch for him. Amazing play call there, amazing execution by the Liberty Flames.
Now Oregon with their first opportunity. And Bucky Irving stood up at the 21-yard line. So it's the last Fiesta for Bo Nix. Will he break the record of Mac Jones for highest ever completion percentage? He may. He's also top 2 in FBS this season in yards, touchdowns, and QBR. He's the most experienced quarterback in college football and in the top 7 all-time in yards. It is his 61st career start and his last in a college football uniform. And he wanted to go out a winner, and that is why he wanted to play in the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl. Well, he starts at his own 21-yard line with a size advantage in Bucky Irving, taking the opening handoff and picking up 5 right up the middle.
And you know, Bob, Bo Nix might be the story of this game as you see all those beautiful numbers that he has where he's top 3 in the FBS in all of them. But the game is going to be about the trenches, as you mentioned. And we've got, looks like an offensive lineman appears to be down, or a skill guy for Oregon right now.
That's Marcus Harper, the left guard. Now, you made mention of this, RG3, to start. Jackson Powers Johnson, one of the opt-outs for Oregon, the Remington winner, as the nation's best center. So they have a freshman in Pancho Lalaulu making his first career start at center, and now one of those experienced guards right next to him is heading over to the sideline. So we'll keep our eyes on Harper, but it looks like he's going to be okay.
And as you said, Pancho Lalaulu being a young guy at center, but Harper's also the backup center. So you don't want to get thin at the offensive line position when that's where you think you have the advantage in this game, is right down the middle of the field in the trenches.
Nix, slant, first down. The catch made by Tez Johnson. That's a gain of 7.
Just a really nice job by Bo Nix there, looking off the middle backer and getting back to his adopted brother, Tez Johnson, for the slant. Great eyes, great technique, leads to a great play.
A little slip out in the flat to Tez Johnson. He's out close to the 40-yard line. Picks up about 5 more. Brought down by Amarion Williams.
Tez Johnson, a guy who transferred in from Troy. Very skinny, 5'10", 160 pounds, and that's probably if he's soaking wet. But if you're that small, you know you got to be able to fly, and he can run with the best of them. It also helps when it's your adopted brother throwing you the football. These guys have a special connection. Can't wait for Chris Budden to be able to tell that story.
Play action. Nix looking downfield, floats one. Guess who? The brotherly connection. It's Tez Johnson again, all the way down to the 22-yard line of Liberty.
Fun. Very nice job here, Tez Johnson running across the formation, making sure he gets into the quarterback's vision as soon as he possibly can. Bo Nix with the layered throw. You're going to hear me say that a bunch today. He's got every throw in his arsenal.
2 yards on first down. Jay Hardy makes the stop of Bucky Irving.
And right now, on this drive, you've seen the importance for Oregon. Run the football, play action pass off of it. Give this Liberty defense that wants to play single high, man coverage, different looks, keep them thinking, and eventually you're going to get these dynamic playmakers for the Oregon Ducks in open space like they did for Tez Johnson 2 plays ago.
Marcus Harper, by the way, the left guard, is back on the field. And Bo Nix this season perfect in the red zone. 23 touchdowns, no interceptions.
No, Bob.
I can't jinx him on that play as Gary Bryant fights his way for a yard. C.J. Bazell came up to make the tackle, and now a chance on third down for Liberty to get a stop in the red zone.
Big opportunity for Liberty, and I am not going to announce or jinx Bo Nix by mentioning the stats that are on your screen right now. But when you look at what they want to do here in the red zone, number 3, Terrence Ferguson, has been a huge threat for them. The big tight end. Let's see where he's at. I believe he's out here.
Nix batted down at the line. He had Tez Johnson wide open. But Oregon stalls, and they'll settle for 3.
We always say this for defensive linemen. If you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up and play volleyball right there. Bryce Dixon letting them know, Dikembe Mutombo style. We playing volleyball, basketball, football, whatever you want. Nice job by the D-line.
It's been a struggle recently for Camden Lewis, but he is first all-time at Oregon in career points from 37 yards out. And this one's perfect. That is still a major win for Liberty defensively, though. Jamie Chadwell told us they'll move it between the 20s. Can we get some red zone stops? They just did.
The Vrbo Fiesta Bowl is brought to you by Vrbo, private vacation rentals, football away, AT&T, connecting changes everything, and Capital One, what's in your wallet?
At the Phoenix Zoo, Chudy the prognosticating rhino. He knocked over the Liberty helmet. As it's been explained to us, he thinks Oregon is going to win. They are the helmet that's standing. 0-5, by the way, in his last 5 predictions. for the record.
For lean on a rhino, I don't know what we're doing here.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. Bob Wischusen, Robert Griffin III, and Chris Budden back here at the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl. Liberty about to get the football back, and they have a 6-3 lead. Missing an extra point after a very impressive opening touchdown drive. We'll see what Caden Salter has in store for us on this second possession. A hooked kick that will bounce down and end up with Bedgood at about the 2-yard line. And he is out to the 22-yard line. And Chris Budden, this has been a group of Flames playing with a very heavy heart this year.
Yeah, what has been a perfect season started off with tragedy. In August, they lost a teammate, offensive lineman, Taj Boyd, to suicide. Jamie Chadwell struggled with, how do I prep my team for a season, but also understand they have to cope with the loss of a brother. What he found out was that particularly that offensive line grew together because they had a reason to play. You see in that picture, Xavier Godin wearing Taj Boyd's number 77 in the Conference USA Championship game. This offensive line is what has led this team all season and a higher purpose to play for all season.
Bedgood up the middle. And he's out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. When we spoke with Jamie Chadwell about this yesterday, he got choked up, just about on the verge of tears, as if this happened yesterday. So this is something, RG3, that this team has been dealing with emotionally all year, as Taj Boyd apparently was as special a young man as you could ever hope to meet.
And you can never forget that these coaches and players are people too. They're not robots, they have feelings, and when they lose a brother like that, The way that they've come together this year has been amazing to watch.
A false start on Chase Mitchell.
Start. Offense number 50. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
So that wipes away the first down gain and will make it 2nd down and 10.
And you talk about this group coming together, these offensive linemen, one of 8 FBS teams to start the same 5 in every single game. They are not here without this group dominating in the trenches, and they have said that they dominate for their lost brother.
C.J. Daniels, he's got a first down, still on his feet, fighting for yards out to the 33, maybe the 34-yard line before he's finally brought down.
C.J. Daniels, you're going to see him right here on the slant, controls himself, and then you ask, how many ducks does it take to tackle a flame? Apparently a lot, guys, because this guy is what I call a Sunday guy, and I ain't talking about ice cream. C.J. Daniels, big physical receiver, can take the top off, can do everything you want to attack a defense, and he shows you right there his strength.
Billy Lucas, 2 yards on first down. 2 group of 5 teams have won the Fiesta Bowl in the last 11 years. And remember, if Liberty were to pull off this upset today, since 2014, it would make the group of 5 teams 5-5 in the New Year's Six. So we have seen this recipe for success before, the little engine that could coming in and shocking the world.
Yeah, you know, we talked to Liberty, and they know this is their Super Bowl. But Oregon said this is our Super Bowl too. And it's an opportunity for growth and development. Let's see who grows the most today.
Fumbled snap ends up with Cooley, and he makes a little something out of nothing. That could have been a disaster in the backfield for Liberty. Evan Williams brings down Quentin Cooley.
I talk about ballsmanship all the time, and right there, both guys getting hands on the ball as it's being snapped. Not a good thing. Billy Lucas, Johnny on the spot to pick it up. But if you're Caden Salter, you got to look that one in. And Billy Lucas, be calm and patient. Don't go until you see that quarterback fully has that football so you can make the right read.
3rd down and 6. Blitz coming. Out of the pocket. Floating one to the sideline is Salter. Incomplete. Up over the head of Noah Frith. So that time, pressure dialed up by Tosh Lupoy, and that got Salter off his mark.
And I've told you guys before, Caden Salter is an eraser. He can, you know, bad play, he can get you out of it. But right there, he never even had a chance to truly set his feet, forcing him to throw the ball before he was ready to, and his receiver was ready to make the play. Great job by Oregon's defense, pressuring him there and making him uncomfortable.
Tez Johnson back deep to receive. And he'll immediately call for a fair catch. Fumbles the football. He was not given enough room, though, I believe, to make the fair catch. A flag thrown. Liberty scrambling for the loose ball. But I would think this would be kick-catch interference, as running up in traffic was Tez Johnson. And Oregon with the recovery nonetheless.
Woo!
And we'll see if we get the extra 15 yards tacked on to the end of the recovery. Looked like Tez Johnson himself found the fumble.
You'll never see a player work harder to get a ball back than the one that they fumble. It's an innate ability that we have. You got to find it and get it. Nobody wants to get yelled at by coach.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team number 20. It's a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So here you're going to see number 20 right here on your screen is going to get too close to Tez Johnson, not allowing him to make the catch. And that's why there was the flag. Oregon very relieved. They'll try to go score when we get back.
Truly full circle for the most experienced college football quarterback ever. 61 starts ago for Bo Nix. It was his first ever in 2019, AT&T Stadium for Auburn against Oregon. And the 16th ranked Tigers upset the Ducks 27-21. He had a couple of touchdown passes in that game. And RG3, who would have imagined that his career would really come full circle, wrap up, and he would almost reinvent himself in Eugene?
Yeah, I don't think anyone would have guessed that, but he might have upset the Duck fans then, but he hasn't upset them at all since he's been here setting records, and his growth has been truly tremendous.
Jordan James, a good run on first down. Number 1 in the Pac-12 in average yards per carry for Jordan James at just over 7 per carry on the season. Quentin Reese brought him down, but that's a gain of 5.5.
Yeah, and his offensive coordinator says that he thinks he'll be a premier back when you talk about Jordan James when they get to the Big Ten. But when you look at Bo Nix, it's just his ability to manage playmaking with also protecting the football, which has changed his trajectory and his NFL dreams.
Nix flushed, sidearms one, and really just dirts it to get away from the pass rush. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Tyron Dupree got through.
Yes, their best linebacker, Tyron Dupree, you're going to see him right there getting after the quarterback, making sure Bo Nix feels him. That is what they said that they wanted to do when we talked to defensive coordinator Skylar McGee. They want to get at his feet, at his toes, maybe pick on his pinky toe a little bit, make him uncomfortable in the pocket to where he can't just sit back there, look pretty, and throw dimes all day.
Five-man rush, maybe a 6-man rush for the Flames. And a drop pass. Trayshawn Holden couldn't hold on. And now 4th down and 5 from midfield. Here comes the punt group for Oregon.
Yeah, Bo Nix does a really nice job of going through his reads. He starts outside with Tez Johnson, comes back. Would you like to see that ball raised up about 2 or 3 yards? Yes. Would I like him to put that out in front of Trayshawn Holden so he can run for a first down? Of course I would. But if you're Trayshawn Holden, you play receiver for a reason. That ball hits your hands, you got to make that catch.
Ross James, the intentional end-over-end kick. Ryland Green, a fair catch, so field position flipped by the Ducks. But Liberty has the lead.
Oh, look at those beautiful mascots right there. Welcome back, and we're going to give you guys 3 keys for today's game. I'm talking about the Statue of Liberty. Liberty has to be solid down the middle of the field on defense against this much bigger Oregon offensive line and make Oregon one-dimensional to get after Bo Nix. Quack the case. Yes, Oregon has to crack the case on the triple option. We've seen one drive so far where they didn't do that, and then last drive they did. Can they get Bo Nix and his offense on the field as much as possible by quacking the case of that triple option, and then birds of a feather? Liberty, 3rd in the country in actually they're 1st in the country in creating turnovers. Oregon is 3rd in the country in how many turnovers they allow to happen. Something's got to give. Whoever wins the turnover battle wins the game.
There's the pitch. Bedgood. Flag thrown. 11 yards if it stands. Evan Williams made the stop. Have to check the marker. And this will back the Flames up half the distance.
Holding, offense number 63. Half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down.
So they called that on number 63, Xavier Gray. So that's going to be right here. Oh, gets on. Yeah, listen, if you get that big old paw on the outside of the shoulder pad and they see that pulled down, they're going to call that holding call. I know there's some boos in the stadium, but the ref got it right.
A quick slant. C.J. Daniels fights for yardage. Close to the first down.
The one unique thing about this triple option that Liberty runs is it's not your traditional one where you're not pushing the ball down the field. They're going to give Caden Salter opportunities to make those big throws, and you've seen with Bedgood on the edge, with some of these ghost sweep motions, they're going to stretch the field as well. But almost every single play is an RPO, run pass option, and Caden Salter has so much decision-making power before every snap.
And they just, without measurement, said Liberty has a first down.
Seems to be some confusion going on between the quarterback and the sideline, and apparently what's going on with the refs as well.
Well, Liberty got a break, as that obviously was a spot foul, which gave them a 1st and 10 situation, and they picked up 10, but now they'll back up 5.
Ball start. Offense number 63. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, the Week 18 NFL season finale is back this Saturday. Our doubleheader loaded with playoff implications. Steelers-Ravens at 4:15 Eastern, followed by Texans-Colts. Both games on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus.
Looking forward to that one with the crew there on Monday Night Countdown. Scott Van Pelt should be blast, man.
Salter flips one on the right flat. Bedgood, another catch. But this time, he's knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 1.5 yards. Steve Stevens might be the most improved player in the nation, according to Tosh Lupoy. He said this was a guy that back in camp, I'm basically saying to all of the defensive coaches, how fast can we replace him? And he has made himself impossible to replace.
Some players take the challenge when you tell them you don't think they're good enough, and they find a way to get better, and that's exactly what Steve Stevens did.
One-on-one to the sideline, climbing the ladder, trying to pull it in, is C.J. Daniels, and they'll say he got a foot down for an amazing catch out to the 38-yard line.
These two know how to throw a back shoulder. Look at this, full extension, gets the foot in bounds. All he needs is one, ladies and gentlemen, and he got that bad boy. I said those two know how to throw a back shoulder because in their conference championship game, these two connected on a big one for a touchdown. Caden Salter, if you can have that throw in your arsenal, NFL teams will be salivating.
Bedgood in motion. Instead, it's Quentin Cooley. Up the middle for 4. He has 7 100-yard games this season. And along with Caden Salter, they are the only FBS duo where both rushers have over 1,000 yards this season.
Yeah, they are not afraid to run the football. When we talked to head coach Jamie Chadwell, he said, well, listen, if you're running for over 300 yards a game and you're not a military school, you're doing something right. So they are doing it, and it's with the motions and the movement, the pre-snap. They are constantly making this Oregon defense think like they've made all the defenses they face this year.
Play action. Salter, another one-on-one. This time for Firth. Incomplete. Frith was blanketed down the sideline by Nico Reed.
Yes, Nico Reed does a nice job using the sideline as his friend. Ball's a little low and in front. I'd like to see Caden Salter throw Frith out the back end. When we say out the back end, that means lead him another 5 yards down the field so he can catch that with outstretched arms. He had the guy beat on the outside, Nico Red there, but Reed, I mean, got to get him a better ball there.
3rd down and 6. Up the middle goes Salter. And he'll be stopped short of the first down by about a couple of yards. So it will be 4th and 2 for Liberty at their own 45-yard line. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Amarion Winston made the stop for the Ducks, and the offense not coming off the field, at least right now for Liberty. Now the delay, and here comes the punt group.
Well, the ESPN analytics says that they should go for it, but I agree with the decision to not listen to the analytics right there. Analytics ain't taking into account the fact that this Oregon defensive front is a Power 5 dominant front that can rush the passer, allow your team to continue play with this lead, punt the ball away.
Caught up against the sideline by Tez Johnson. Well, later today, the college football playoff semifinals are right here on ESPN. As soon as we're done, it's the Rose Bowl game presented by Prudential, Michigan, and Alabama, followed by the All-State Sugar Bowl between Washington and Texas. The winners, of course, go to the championship game next Monday. You could as well with Playoff Premium, the official premium hospitality program. Sweetened ticket packages include premier seating, all-inclusive hospitality, exclusive access, and more. Visit playoffpremium.com to book today.
Really looking forward to that matchup. J.J. McCarthy, can he flash it back to last year and become an impact player in that passing game going against that Alabama defense?
Bo Nix on first down. Pumps once, over the middle, bobbled and dropped by Johnson.
Right now we're seeing some great throws from both quarterbacks and then some that are just a little tad off. You know, when you take basically a month off from playing football, there's going to be a little bit of rust. You got to work that off when you get early in these football games. So you're seeing the ball dive on both guys. They just got to get their hips into the throw a little bit more.
And also no Troy Franklin. They are without their best wide receiver on the opt-out. 4 straight incompletions for Bo Nix. And the last couple drops as Holden and Johnson both dropped one. Swing pass. This time it's held on to by Tez Johnson. He breaks a tackle. He's got a first down.
And I want you guys to watch this for the entirety of the game. Whenever you see Tez Johnson going in motion, understand that they're trying to use him not just to get tails and get easy throws like this from Bo Nix with him out on the edge in space. They're also trying to get him the right matchup. Whether he's on the nickel on the left side and he's on the safety on the right. They want to make sure they continue to move him around, especially with Troy Franklin, as Bob mentioned a second ago, not being in this game. Tez Johnson will be the focal point of the passing game at the wideout spot.
Bucky Irving across the 40. He's got close to 8 yards out near the 42-yard line before he's brought down by Joseph Carter and Brandon Bishop. And that might take us to the end of a long first quarter. Let's see if Oregon gets another snap off. They still have 10 seconds on the clock, and Bo Nix is lining them up. 5 seconds to go. And they will not get the play off. 1 quarter in the books here at the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl. It has been hard hitting between Oregon and Liberty. The Flames with the game's only touchdown so far.
Welcome back to the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl here with Jamie Chadwell. You guys have done such a good job limiting Oregon's offense. What's allowed you to do that?
Well, we're trying to keep them off the field. Obviously, we need to sustain some drives, but I think our defense has been opportunistic. They've helped us a couple drop passes, but we're not giving them anything easy, and that's what we wanted to do, make them earn it.
When you get the ball back, that first drive, you move down the field so easily. What do you need to get back to on offense?
Well, the last couple times we dropped a snap, we've had a bump of penalties, we're hurting ourselves, and we got to get back to what worked in that first drive. I think we're trying to do a little too much right now.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Unusual formation for the Ducks to open up the second quarter as they're trying to throw a curveball Liberty's way. Bucky Irving goes in motion, takes the jet sweep handoff, turns the corner across the midfield stripe to the 48-yard line of the Flames.
Yeah, and you're going to see Bucky Irving's going to come in motion and basically run around the world to get to the other side of the field. And it's just being creative, but I like the fact that they're leaning on running the football. When you have an offensive line that's as big and has a much more bigger size advantage than this Liberty defensive line, you got to lean into that. They had double the amount of passes than they had runs before that play right there. They need to stop trying to be too cute and go after records and run the ball down Liberty's throat.
There they go again. Irving into the secondary. Into the red zone. Turns the corner with a blocker out in front. Down to the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal Ducks.
That's why Oregon loves Bucky Irving. Watch him, watch the patience, and then boom, he's gonna hit it, showing you that he's got the field vision to get it back to the other side and the speed. Look at all the big uglies downfield trying to block for him. You love to see that from an offensive line perspective. Those guys don't get too much love, but Bucky Irving is riding the wave with them. Huge run there. Like I said, they need to do it again.
Irving again. Inside the 5, down inside the 3-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal just outside the 2.
And if you're Oregon, like you said, we've talked about this size difference so much already on this broadcast. But the bottom line is you got to send a message to Liberty that they cannot play with you up front. Continue to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. I'd love to see them once again hand the football off to Bucky Urban or give Bo Nix an opportunity to get into this running game as well.
Play action. Nix rolls across his body, back in the end zone. A wide open touchdown for Gary Bryant Jr. The 41st touchdown pass of the season for Bo Nix.
I want you guys to watch how Bo Nix is going to get outside, but this is the man right here. Gary Bryant Jr. on his route, he's running a corner. But watch what he does at the top of the corner. He knows that this DB right here is going to run this direction. So he's going to stop, pop, and give himself an opportunity to catch a touchdown pass. Nice job by Bo Nix seeing it. Great execution.
A 7-play, 82-yard touchdown drive. That went from the end of the first quarter into the second quarter. And Oregon, helped out by Bucky Irving, the 44-yard run down inside the 5-yard line. And they would convert.
The Vrbo Fiesta Bowl is brought to you by Taco Bell, Allstate, you're in good hands, and Gatorade. Gatorade is helping millions play. Gatorade, fuel tomorrow.
As is the case every year at the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl, the teams participated in community outreach programs in Phoenix this week. Liberty built 80 wagons for Girl Scouts of Arizona to sell their cookies, and Oregon invested time with the Special Olympics of Arizona as well, a football field day that Dan Lanning and all the players took part in. And now Oregon has the 4-point lead.
Yeah, I want you guys to watch just how long Bo Nix holds this fake here. And when you see his eyes down the field, looking at the defense to ensure where are they at, where do I need to go with this football, so that when he comes out of that fake, he can have a clear picture of where all the bodies are. And that's why he was able to make this throw on a dime, on a broken route from his receiver in the back of the end zone, because he keeps his eyes on the defense as he's making all of these fakes. Play action to a break.
Can Liberty now respond? Billy Lucas gets a push. He's got 4 yards on first down. Again, the Flames went right down the field on the game's opening drive and scored a touchdown when Caden Salter hit the tight end Bentley Hanshaw. They have been blanked since, and now they're behind for the first time.
Yeah, and I think when we talked with Jamie Chadwell, he kind of alluded to the fact that they don't know if they're good enough to just put together 10, 12, 15 play drives consistently. They're going to need some of those big play action plays, and they just so happen to lead the country in average air yards per pass attempt per completion. And that right there, the touchdown they had, was a big example of that. They need to find a way to make big plays in the passing game on this drive.
Play clock winding down. Salter with 3 on the timer. Gets the snap off. And nothing there for Vaughn Blue. Maybe a yard, so it'll be 3rd down and 5 as we check in with Chris.
For Caden Salter, it's been quite a journey at quarterback throughout his career. After leaving high school in Texas, committed to playing at Tennessee, went there for a few months, but had some disciplinary issues and ended up getting dismissed off the team. Hugh Freeze, he goes in the transfer portal. Hugh Freeze picks him up at Liberty. He said, the thing that it's taught me is people can give you second chances and you can change your life around. I've had to make my circle smaller, realize, hang out with my teammates, be the guys that want to protect me. And here he is right now with an undefeated season trying to lead them to a Fiesta Bowl win.
Yeah, by all accounts, he is a completely different person. And this time, a near interception almost turned into a breakaway for C.J. Daniels. A 50-50 ball that both had a chance at. Dante Manning was there in coverage.
Yeah, you talk about him being a completely different person. Well, he must be living right, because he throws this one right to Dante Manning. And that's why they say DBs play DB and wide receivers play wide receiver, because DBs can't catch. And I know some DBs out there are going to be upset. But listen, guys, it's okay. Right there, Dante Manning dropped a big opportunity to make a game-changing play for Oregon. Caden Salter's got to be a little bit less aggressive in those moments so he can protect the football for his team like he has most of the year.
So it's a 3 and out following the Oregon touchdown. A really good line drive punt, though. That chases Tez Johnson all the way back to the 15. Returnable, he gets lassoed down at the 25-yard line. 55-yard punt from Max Morgan. Austin Turner with the tackle for Oregon.
Oh, big guy hits little guy.
Well described. Following our coverage of the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl, it will be the college football playoff semifinals. Jim Harbaugh leading his Wolverines in for the Rose Bowl game presented by Prudential. Number 1 Michigan, number 4 Alabama. Here on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus, of course, followed by Washington, Texas, in the All-State Sugar Bowl as we bring you the AT&T countdown to the CFP National Championship. Can Michigan flip the script? The last 3 seasons, dominant in the regular season, but RG3, it's been a different story once they've reached the playoff.
Yeah, it has been, and maybe the third time is the charm. You know, when you get into that college ball playoff, it's a lot harder to dominate and just own the line of scrimmage, and they're going up against one of the perennial bullies in all of college football of Alabama, but I think it comes down to the quarterback play, like we always talk about, J.J. McCarthy versus a guy in Jalen Milroe who can really make all types of wild plays all over the field.
So playing now with the lead, Oregon back to the offense. Back to the ground in Irving. Met at the line of scrimmage and dropped. Kendi Charles, who was thought to be lost for the season back against Old Dominion on November 11th with a knee injury. He was out the last 3 games of the season, the championship game as well. And they actually said had he not played in a bowl game this late in the bowl game season, he wouldn't have been able to return.
Yeah, and you know this means the world to him, having an opportunity to play in the New Year's Six game. And right there, the defensive line, they're going to slant and move all day today. Right there, they slanted in the right direction and got penetration in the backfield.
A rollout for Nix. On a string to the sideline to Gary Bryant Jr. His own momentum brought him back just shy of the first down marker. So it'll be 3rd down and a half yard.
Yeah, and it's just a nice job. It's a little delay movement. And when you just watch the way Bo Nix throws, the ball jumps off his hand, but it's never that like heat-seeking missile that is thrown too hard that a receiver can't handle. He throws the ball with just the right amount of velocity every single time. It's a thing of beauty.
Oregon brings in an extra offensive lineman, and Ope Laolu. So 6 offensive linemen and a couple of tight ends as well. And Jordan James easily picks up the first down and nearly busted it out to midfield.
Ooh. They gave Jordan James two lead blockers in the middle of the hole, an offensive lineman and a tight end, and they created a nice little crease for him. He got through there quickly, or should I say he was tiptoeing in his Jordans down the middle of the field.
They leave the same group out there. And this time James gets bounced around after a gain of 2. Number 1 in the Pac-12 in average yards per carry in the regular season.
And the astounding thing is when you look at Bucky Irving, number 0, he's an explosive back as well. So you saw him on an earlier drive making all those moves, getting down the field. Well, then you bring in Jordan James, and he's even more explosive. That's why this Oregon offense has been so dominant this year. The offensive line leaning on teams, the running backs being able to add things in the passing game, and that makes play-action pass for Bo Nix such a potent weapon.
Play clock down to 1, goes to 0. They get it off. Nix, for the first time, finds the tight end Terrence Ferguson, but Ferguson can't hold on. Another Oregon drop. Jalen Jimerson was there in coverage.
You're going to watch Terrence Ferguson. Hey, ball outreach, pull it in, but no. Jalen Jimerson swiping away at the football. That's why as a DB, you never give up on the play. Play through contact and separate the man from the ball. Right there, all it took was a hand.
So now it's 3rd down and 8, and the Liberty crowd on their feet.
3rd down and 8, and the man who was just on your screen, Terrence Ferguson, once again, could be a guy that they're going to try to target here.
Jordan James. Very close. He's got the first down, it looks like, by a foot. Just enough. on the jet sweep. Quentin Reese made the stop.
Gutsy call there in that position. They seal off the defense and allow Jordan James to maneuver. Speed and space, I always say this, wins the race. But right there, he had to get physical to get that first down, and that's a direct reflection of Dan Lanning's teachings to this team. They will be physical.
Next to throw. Flag down. And the catch is made down at the 21-yard line. Trayshawn Holden climbed the ladder for a gain of 21, but a marker thrown back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looked like it's going to be offsides on the defense, so it was a free play.
Offside. Defense. In the neutral zone at the snap. Penalties decline. First down.
And what I love most is this is very Aaron Rodgers-y. You get that free play, take a shot down the field. Trayshawn Holden, nice job getting, looks like both feet in there, so boop, boop. That's not just good in college football, people. That would be a catch in the NFL as well.
Timeout called on defense by Liberty.
Timeout. Liberty.
We'll take it
first
with
of the
them
half.
and come right back to the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl.
Matt Berry in our college football studio. I have your Chick-fil-A move on the field. And Tanner Mordecai all season for Wisconsin threw 6 touchdown passes the entire season. He has 3 in the first half against LSU. And right now the Badgers bucky up 21-14 on the Tigers. Bob?
Well, Matt, we would have expected a similar score here at the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl. The yards are piling up. The points haven't so far. But it's been a major advantage for Oregon in the second quarter. 8th play of this drive. Nix, play action. Deflected ball in the right flat. It falls incomplete. Jaden Sweeney. Check that, T.J. Bush coming off the edge. The freshman deflects it. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Oregon does a nice job with all of the eye candy, but on the outside right there, Bo Nix has to find a way to maneuver his arm to get that over T.J. Bush. He does what he's supposed to do. Bo Nix has to find a way to get that one to Terrence Ferguson.
The flip for Tez Johnson. Speed to the edge. Inside the 5. 1st and goal, Oregon at the 4. Kobe Singleton eventually bumped him out after a gain of 16.
Speed and space always wins the race, so why don't you just do a little push pass to one of the fastest guys you have on your team in Tez Johnson. A lot of times people don't praise these guys on the outside for the blocking that they do, but they set him up perfectly there.
Lob into the end zone, hoping for Trayshawn Holden. Flag out.
Looks like they're going to call pass interference on a
Marion Williams is going to get called.
Pass interference. Defense number 26. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
So here they are matched up on the outside. Holden does a nice job setting up and giving Bo Nix space. I mean, I don't think that's pass interference, guys. They both initiated contact. I didn't see anything that was egregious there.
Play action again. Nix almost lost his balance. Maintains and finds Terrence Ferguson for the touchdown.
What a play by Bo Nix right there. The Liberty defensive line had him dead to rights. And he pulled that Superman creative ability out of nowhere to find Terrence Ferguson for a touchdown.
That's the 11th time in the last 2 years that Bo Nix has found Terrence Ferguson for a red zone touchdown. And the 6th time this year, Oregon extends their lead, a 10-play, 75-yard touchdown drive.
Here it is. There's the play action. Little ballsmanship. And Bo Nix turns into Bo Fix and finds Terrence Ferguson on the broken play for a touchdown.
Let's check out today's good hands plays, brought to you by Allstate.
And it's going to be Bo Nix and his 2 touchdown passes. One to Gary Bryant Jr. on a broken play, and oh, he's going to do it again. Houdini act. Bo Nix with a touchdown pass to Terrence Ferguson. Him playing in this game was everything for the Oregon Ducks, and he's come out and has not disappointed so far in the first half, putting on a show here after a little bit of a slow start.
42 touchdown passes on the season now for Bo Nix. That ties Marcus Mariota for the single season record for Oregon. So one more for Bo Nix, and he would set the all-time record. Needed 310 yards passing as well to move past the amazing season that Mariota had back in 2014. Nix right now with 138 yards passing in this game, but has tied the touchdown record.
Yeah, and it's been quite fascinating to see the way that they've gone about this. This new push pass in college football counts as a pass completion for the quarterback, and they've done that a bunch. But you look at how he started this game, 4 of 8, 53 yards, and now he has been since 8 of 10. They just did a really nice job of getting him back in rhythm, and I'll talk more about that after this play.
Bottled up is Salter and goes down at the 21-yard line. A loss of 4. They tried the inside fake. Jordan Birch wasn't buying.
Really nice job there by Oregon's defensive line, bottling up Caden Salter, not going for any of the moves, and making sure they played sound defense right there.
The Rose Bowl game presented by Prudential comes up next. The All-State Sugar Bowl tonight as we are starting an all-time day of college football here on ESPN. The college football playoffs coming up next. Quentin Cooley breaks a tackle out to the 30-yard line. Flag down. He's 5 yards shy of a first down. Birch was there to make the stop. Looked like a hand may have gotten up on the face mask of Cooley. And that would be a break for Liberty.
There is no foul for a face mask. 3rd down.
So they pick the flag up.
So you're going to see Cooley. Oh, yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like he got him on the face mask. We'll get another look at that just to see if maybe that bottom finger got in there. But
let's bring in Matt Austin, our officiating expert. And Matt, where is that line between face mask or no face mask to you?
Well, I agree with Robert. It does look, I think they should have stuck with the face mask. He did get his thumb in there. It looked like he had the top bar and the lower bar. It wasn't much, but I do think he had the face mask and turned his head.
So on the slant, a bobbled ball and a drop for C.J. Daniels. So what could have been an extra 15 yards, a first down, and the drive kept alive for Liberty, it looks like is going to result in a punt.
yeah, and right here, C.J. Daniels got to make that play. Your quarterback does his job, reads the defense, finds the open hole, hits you right in the hands, and make that catch. You guys are moving, continue to move forward and have an opportunity to claw your way back and try to make this a one-score game. Instead, now you're on the sideline, and you got to hope that this Liberty Flame defense can step up and stop Bo Nix and this Oregon offense.
Jamie Chadwell was still objecting, and Tez Johnson's going to let this one bounce. He just ran forward. So this punt rolls all the way down to the 5-yard line from Max Morgan. A 65-yard punt that flips the field. ESPN Networks will have plenty of pro sports for you coming up this week. Wednesday night, a pair of NBA games on 2 different networks at 8:30 Eastern on ABC. It's Knicks Bulls, and at 10 on ESPN, the Heat at the Lakers. And our next NHL game is Thursday night at 7 o'clock on ESPN. Penguins at Bruins. Coverage begins with The Point at 6 Eastern. Sidney Crosby will take on the Bees. That comes up Thursday at 7 Eastern. So Oregon at their own 5-yard line. Knicks from the end zone with a pump fake. He's going to take a shot for Bryant. Perfectly on time to midfield and passed.
Here you're going to see they're running the double move stop and go. Receiver takes care of the DB. Bo Nix takes care of the rest. Gets it in there before the safety can get across. Nice double move. Completely changes the field position aspect on this drive.
Nix, after a 50-yard bomb, takes another shot. Flag out. Tez Johnson was held. Brandon Bishop, it looks like, will draw this flag.
Now that was pass interference.
Pass interference. Defense number 6, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You're going to see number 6, Brandon Bishop, put both arms on the receiver, tug him down, and that's before the ball gets there, restricting him, grabbing his arm. Look, he's two-handing it right there. You can't do that and then turn around and look at the whole stadium and say, I didn't hold him, what's going on? Man, just love it when DBs do that. It's hilarious to me.
The bitter old quarterback always at some point comes out in you. Swing pass. And this time, Trayshawn Holden limited to a gain of 5 by Kobe Singleton. It'll be second down and a long 5. And the game teetering right now for Liberty. They came out and scored a touchdown on the opening drive of the game. They have been blanked ever since. Back-to-back touchdown drives for Oregon. Oregon also starts the third quarter with the ball.
Yeah, if you're Liberty, I know they're on defense right now, but offensively, look at what Oregon's done with Bo Nix, getting him simple completions. Do the same thing with Caden Salter to get him back in rhythm so your offense can start putting up points.
Jordan James inside the 15, inside the 10-yard line before he's taken down at the 9.
Man, you know who Jordan James kind of runs like? Isaiah Pacheco from the Chiefs. Watch him burst as soon as he gets through, and he is running with violent intentions. He's got speed, but right there it looked like he was ready to put his shoulder through that DB on his way to try to score a touchdown.
So goal to go again for the Ducks. And again, they load up on the offensive line with 3 tight ends. Jordan James right up the middle. Down inside the 3-yard line. They'll mark him down right at the 3. Second down and goal.
It's remarkable how Oregon has utilized that push pass to kind of conflate the numbers. Right now, Bo Nix has thrown the football 20 times, but they're using those to run the ball. And then when they get in their traditional run sets, they're saying, Liberty, you cannot play with us. We're going to run you over at the point of attack.
And Liberty frustrated on defense and calling timeout.
Timeout, Liberty. Their second of the half. 30-second timeout.
And now a quick message from Vrbo.
Vrbo, a place that rewards your loyalty on every rental. Football away, baby.
We've got 2 of the top 5 scoring teams in FBS in today's game. Oregon, number 2 in the nation in scoring. Liberty, number 5 in the nation in scoring. But you always wonder against the Power 5 team that can bully you around physically a little bit, how will the underdog perform? And they came right out like a house of fire and went down the field, the Flames did, and scored a touchdown. It's been all Oregon since.
And it's typically in these types of games, your quarterback has to play out of his mind. Caden Salter showed that on that first drive that he could do it. But since Oregon has made it a point that they're going to be physical and run the football.
A little jet sweep, and Bo Nix with that 1 touch ahead has a touchdown pass to Kenyon Sadiq. That would be his 3rd, and that would break the record of Marcus Mariota.
I mean, just again, watch this. It's the push pass. Hey, there it is. It looks like a run play because it is, but it's a pass, and it counts for Bo Nix in the passing touchdown category. They're just getting their speed on the edges quickly, not only pushing Liberty off the ball, but also beating them sideline to sideline.
3 straight touchdowns, all passes from Bo Nix. And the 50-yard pass to Gary Bryant from the 5-yard line got it started, and eventually it's capped with a record setter for Bo Nix.
You know, it was funny in talking with head coach from Liberty, Jamie Chadwell. He talked about, hey, maybe there's a little bit of Oregon that's playing for stats, and we're playing for the win. But for Oregon right now, everything that they want to do to win this game coincides with the records that Bo Nix is chasing.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Road tested and game ready. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. Bob Wischusen, Robert Griffin III, Chris Budden here in Glendale. The Vrbo Fiesta Bowl It was 6-0 Liberty right out of the gate. But Oregon has established their dominance, and now 3:50 on the clock. Timeout still, 1 for Liberty, so they've got plenty of time. But Robert, it almost feels like a must score before halftime possession now for the Flames. And they'll start from their own 25-yard line. Well, the MegaCast returns for the college football playoff semifinals today. 10 additional ways to watch the Rose Bowl game, presented by Prudential and the All-State Sugar Bowl across ESPN's linear, digital, and audio platforms. Field Pass with the Pat McAfee Show headlines the MegaCast coverage on ESPN2. Additional feeds include the Spanish language telecast on Deportes, the Command Center, Skycast, and hometown radio for all 4 teams. So many different ways that you can take in the college football playoff. Caden Salter to the sideline on first down, gets the drive started with a hook up to Daniels.
Really nice job of getting Caden Salter easy completion. You look at their first drive, 6 plays, 75 yards, and a touchdown. So far in their last 4, more plays, less yards, all punts. This Oregon defense does a nice job of not giving the quarterback those gimme throws with off coverage. Right there, Liberty got one of those looks. They took advantage of it. Now your quarterback can maybe settle in.
They motion Bedgood. Run the triple option, and the straight ahead handoff on the dive to Quentin Cooley gets them 8.
It's like when you watch this Liberty Flame offense, there's just guys and bodies going in all different types of directions, and that's exactly what they want. They don't believe that this Oregon middle part of their defense, that their linebackers have great eye discipline. They're down 24-6 right now, but they can't fully get away from what's gotten them here. It's that triple option and being a run-pass option type of team. Don't just go spread and start throwing it, and they're doing a good job on this drive of staying true to who they are.
Cooley again. First down, and then some. Into plus territory. A gain of 7 more. Again, this is a Liberty team that ran for over 300 yards per game this season. #1 in the country. So this is what they are used to trying to lean on.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And in my own experiences playing, we played in the Alamo Bowl, and we were down 17 late in the game, 3rd quarter, maybe early 4th, and we ran the football to get back in it and won that game in one of the highest scoring bowl games ever. I like to see Liberty continue to attack right here.
Salter with a check down. Quentin Cooley met in the flat, the helmet ripped off. The tackle made by Jeffrey Bassa. As the play stands now, it's a loss of 2. And no flag comes out. And that would mean Cooley would have to leave the field for a play. Unless his helmet comes off because of penalty, and if no flag is thrown, he has to come out.
There it is, gets hit, and there goes the helmet. Oh my goodness. Really potential dangerous play there.
So Billy Lucas in for Cooley, 2nd down and 12 at midfield. Salter scans the field. A pump fake, sidearms 1, and on a dive, the catch made by C.J. Daniels. That makes it 3rd and manageable with 1:48 to go. Oregon will call a timeout to see if they can get a stop and preserve some time for their offense.
Right here, you're going to see C.J. Daniels stretch out to make this catch. See, does it keep that football from hitting the ground? Looks like a catch to me, at least from that angle. Once again, wide catch radius, goes out, secures that ball all the way through the ground.
If, in the opinion of the officials, he has firm control of the ball can make contact with the ground.
100%.
And it certainly looked like he had, at the very least, had firm control. That was a secure catch for C.J. Daniels.
If that ain't control, Bob, I don't know what is.
You'd have to think 4 down territory as well here for Liberty, in plus territory, down 24-6.
Yes, and we've talked about this. They need points here. And a field goal is not going to make them feel that great. They need to go score a touchdown. Here, 3rd and 5, you're going to see they got that bunch set. It looks like a little bit of a 3-by-1 there to the bottom of your screen. Now they're shifting and moving, trying to get this Oregon defense to communicate.
Empty backfield for Salter on 3rd down after the Oregon timeout. Over the middle, looking for Daniels again. Another sliding catch for a 1st down.
I love the way they used empty there to give Caden Salter opportunities to see who was covering who. No one in the box. Nice job right there by C.J. Daniels going down and getting that one, helping his quarterback out with a little bit of a low throw.
Less than a minute and a half to go in the opening half. Salter out of the pocket. A little pump fake, a stutter step. Gets to the sideline and takes a hit out of bounds from Jeffrey Bassa. Was able to pick up about a yard, and that stops the clock with 1:19 left. Liberty still with 1 timeout.
Love Caden Salter right there, trusting his ability. Tysheem Johnson, a really good safety for the Oregon Ducks, kind of got caught in no man's land, not knowing whether Salter was going to throw that football because he's shown a propensity to break the pocket and continue to have his eyes downfield. But nice job getting some positive yards and preserving the ball for the next play.
Salter, long throw to the sideline. That's bobbled and may have been intercepted on the carom. Steve Stevens on the drive after Trayon Sibley had it in his hands. Tips lead to picks, and it's a takeaway for Oregon.
These are the ones that you hate show up on the quarterback stat line, but right here, Sibley, make the catch, hits you in the hands. But if you're the DB, ooh, did he get that one? Did he get both hands underneath that ball? Let's look, Steve Stevens. Oh, that is going to be a tough one for the referees to figure out. You just mentioned it, Bob. If you have control, the ball can't hit the ground. But
Does
did
he
have control before the ball hits the ground?
And Matt Austin, this is a good question for you. If you were taking a look at this, would that be firm control before the ball made contact with the ground?
Yes and no. In this case, he had firm control, but when the ball hit the ground, the ball moved in his hands. So I think the ground helped create this catch. I think this is an incomplete pass.
Well, they have announced, obviously, to the crowd that the replay booth will take another look. Is that firm control before the ball touches the ground? Again, it was ruled an interception on the field. So that precedent being set means it has to be indisputable according to the replay booth. But this is, again, where that human element comes in, Robert, because in the replay booth and with our officials on the field, these are still human beings making a judgment call as to whether or not they think that's firm control. I agree with Matt. Unless he really has control for a good beat or two, normally when the ball makes contact with the ground, they give the benefit of doubt to the offense here and rule this an incomplete pass.
Right, I think you hit the nail on the head. Because they called it an interception, it's going to be hard for them to overturn it and say that he didn't have control. Not saying that it's impossible, but to me it looks like it's almost happening simultaneously. He's going to get control and the ball is touching the ground at the same time.
Let's be honest, this is a call Liberty needs to have go their way because this is the first time since the opening drive that they have efficiently moved the ball against this Oregon defense, desperately trying to get points before halftime to make this a game again.
Yeah, and I just want you guys to pay attention. It's like right here when the ball is coming down, Steve Stevens is going to get his hands underneath it. It's right here when his left hand makes contact with the football, right? There's the right hand on it. When the left hand is just about to make contact with the football, it looks like the ball is touching the ground nearly at the same time. And that, to me, is the kicker here. It looks like the ruling on the field will potentially stand because that doesn't give you indisputable evidence that it should be turned over.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
So they were saying that it's not indisputable that he didn't have firm control before the ball touched the ground. And as a result, I think that's a good example of if they had ruled that incomplete on the field, they probably would have stayed with incomplete.
Right.
That's a killer, though, for Liberty. And the Oregon defense gets a fortunate takeaway, and they've got the ball back still with time on the clock and with 2 timeouts.
It was one of the keys. Birds of a feather flock together. Whoever wins the turnover battle will win this game. And right there, Oregon's defense comes up big with the turnover there.
That was on the 8th play of the drive for Liberty, which was their longest drive of the game. Bo Nix, check down. Tez Johnson, cut down after a gain of 3.
And if you remember, I talked about how Liberty didn't feel like they were good enough to go on those 8, 10, 12 play drives. And right there, they get to the 8th play, some mistake happens. Unfortunately, now they're having to lean on their defense.
4-man rush. Another catch made underneath by Tez Johnson, but he only gains a yard. Brandon Bishop right there to make the tackle. And now it's 3rd down and 6. The clock winding down as Oregon still has 2 timeouts left. Liberty with 1, neither team opting to call one here. Nix with time. Extends the play, directing traffic now. Scrambles to the sideline and gets the first down. Eventually tripped up by Tyron Dupree, but not before scrambling for just enough. Although a lot of time has come off the clock, down to 21 seconds left.
And that's the only downfall to scrambling inside of a 2-minute drill. You take a ton of time off and don't give yourself the opportunity to take more shots down the field like that.
There's a seam shot, running free is Johnson. And he'll slide down, give himself up to allow the clock to stop. And obviously Oregon will spend a timeout here with 8 seconds to go in the half.
What a throw right there by Bo Nix. Watch this. He gets his eyes to the right place and throws a firecracker of a throw in there to his adoptive brother, Tez Johnson. Smart of him to get down and not waste more time, to give them more time on the clock.
That brings Tez Johnson well over 100 yards, 129 yards receiving here in the first half. The Mercedes-Benz halftime report moments away. Reese Davis and company in Pasadena as they will preview the college football playoff semifinals. Have highlights from our game and others going on in the early bowl games here on New Year's Day. Hopefully your headache's not too bad as you wake up around America after you had a good time, I'm sure, last night. Happy New Year. 2024 begins with a terrific day of college football.
Happy New Year, everybody. We are going to dominate 2024. Can't wait, man.
And Liberty will spend their final timeout, I think, of the half on defense here. So most likely one chance for Oregon to possibly take a shot at the end zone, and then it would be a field goal. Our Week 18 NFL season finale doubleheader back on Saturday. Plenty of playoff implications as the Steelers and Ravens begin the doubleheader at 4:15 Eastern, followed by the Texans and Colts. Both games are on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, ESPN Plus, and you could see in the AFC wildcard race and in the AFC South, both of these games very important. As the Ravens, of course, with that win yesterday, locking up the 1 seed. But Pittsburgh in a race, and Houston and the Colts neck and neck there as well.
Yeah, the Ravens lock up the 1 seed. Lamar locks up the MVP, and that playoff race in both conferences is thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Right here for Oregon, 1 shot to the end zone. Make it quick, Bo Nix. You cannot scramble here.
Here comes a blitz. Nix, seam shot, end zone, sliding catch made by Trayshawn Holden for the Oregon touchdown. What a first half for Bo Nix.
What a first half, and what a throw. Eyes down the middle, holding the safety, throwing this Skinner route, that outside post low for his guy Trayshawn Holden, not only to obviously get him a throw, but protect him from any potential hits coming from the inside. Took the shot, got the completion, touchdown, Oregon.
And a heartbreaker for Liberty as well, off of the 8-play plus territory drive, to not get the benefit of the doubt of the replay. So the interception turns into 6, and now 7 for the Ducks. And Bo Nix with 257 yards and 4 touchdowns in the first half alone. We talked about it in the pregame that this game took on the level of significance that you hoped it would when Bo Nix immediately announced and told you when you saw him at the Heisman ceremony that he was playing in this game?
Yeah, you know, the thing that makes this so much more impressive for me is the fact that Bo Nix didn't need to play in this game, and he's not gaining anything from playing in this game. I know you get the records, but no NFL team is going to watch this tape and say, wow, look at what Bo Nix did against that Liberty team. They're going to look at the past 2 years and the work that he's put in. So he's not just playing today for records, he's playing for his brothers. He wanted to go out as a winner, and he has accomplished that and showed off, to me, just the heart of a champion.
And talking to him earlier this season, had one of their games. He just loves playing college football.
Yeah.
He's the most experienced quarterback in the history of college football. His 61st career start today. And he is proving today how much he loves college football, playing in this game and performing the way that he has. And Oregon starts the third quarter with the ball as well, and a 31-6 lead, as Mel Kiper Jr. right now has him as the number 6 quarterback prospect in the draft. And when he's 6th among the quarterbacks, it shows you how deep this draft is going to be for quarterbacks.
100%. And all due respect to Mel Kiper, been doing it for a really, really long time. I think it's too low. I think Bo Nix is too low to be at number 6, but he is the married Stifler of college football. The guy's been here. I feel like he's got a PhD. His kid's, you know, cashing in on his 401k program already. But he loves the game. He showed us that, and we're just having a blast watching him play it one more time.
188 yards and 4 touchdowns passing alone for Bo Nix in the second quarter. What a first half for the Ducks. When we come back, Reese Davis and company in Pasadena. They will catch you up with the Mercedes-Benz halftime report.
I'm not you, I'm not scared. Watch out for the man of the year. So good to, I'm top tail. Pop out for the man of the year. I'm not you, I'm not scared. Watch out for the man of the year. So good to, I'm top tail. Pop out for the man of the year. Shake it up when I
Welcome back to the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl. Just about set for the start of the third quarter here in Glendale. A big first half for Oregon. They have a 31-6 lead on Liberty. Bob Wischusen with Robert Griffin III and Chris Budden, and we bring you today's Capital One rewarding performance. And what a second quarter it was for Bo Nix and the Oregon offense.
Yes, it was. They started slow, but then he started showing off some of that magic man in him with the ballsmanship. They were pushing it to the limit with the push passes, and Bo Nix started us on the Bo Nix marathon of touchdown passes to his wideouts. They are certainly putting up big stats, and it all started with them getting him back in rhythm.
4 touchdown passes, all in the second quarter. And again, he needed 310 yards to move past Marcus Mariota for the all-time single-season yardage record at Oregon. He's already broken the touchdown passes record, so he has 257 total yards for the game. Exactly the type of performance you would expect from Bo Nix. And he sent an extra jolt into this game when he announced he was going to play.
Yeah, and he didn't come back to play for, you know, tickles and giggles. He came back to be dominant, and he has showed up big time for the Oregon Ducks today.
Out to the 25-yard line for Oregon to start the third quarter. Why has Bo Nix been so effective?
Well, I talked about it, getting him back in rhythm. So for all my young quarterbacks out there, there was a great philosophizer by the name of Shakira, and what she said was, the hips don't lie. And that's exactly what Bo has been doing. He's making all types of off-platform throws because he's getting his hips into it. When he has a pass rush and he can't get
I'm going to step back.
all
I'm
the thing
uncomfortable.
in, he can go there and he can just keep getting that hip into the throw, and that's why he's able to get momentum. You see some of those throws that go a little low because he's got people at his feet. He can still make those throws because his hips are getting there.
Right. Confucius, Shakira, I get them confused.
Yeah.
At times.
You know? It's understandable, Bob. It's understandable.
First and 10 for Oregon at their own 25-yard line. And they start on the ground with Bucky Irving. He's got close to 10 yards. It is a first down for Oregon. Down to Chris.
Spoke with both coaches at half. Jamie Chadwell extremely frustrated. He said, listen, I'm realistic about the score and our opponent, but we're not playing like ourselves. 3 and outs, drop balls. imagine what we could be and how competitive this could be if we stop shooting ourselves in the foot. That was his message at halftime. Is that for Dan Lanning, we just need to play the second half like we finished up that first half, be able to get this offense in rhythm, the accurate passes, and continue to run the football.
And see if they can stop the run. And this time they do. Irving only for a yard. It was a quick start for Liberty. They scored a touchdown on their opening drive of the game. And the interception that set up the touchdown before Oregon was a bad break that went to replay, and Liberty could have benefited, did not from that call, but Oregon has gone right down the field 4 times in a row.
You know, I talked about this in the meeting that Liberty just needed to get to the second quarter and have it be a game. Well, they accomplished that. They just didn't play in the second quarter like it was a game. They surged in the first, and now Oregon is just putting their will on them every single play.
Irving on the screen. And if Liberty is going to get back in this game, it's downs coming up like this where they have to win. It's going to be 3rd down and 5 for Oregon.
You know, you always talk about defensive lines being able to pin their ears back and just go after you. Well, in this situation, it's the offensive line that can do that for Oregon. They can pin their ears back and just run the football down the throat of the Liberty Flames. What you want the defense to do is be stout here. They're in empty. They're going to try to throw this football. Big down for Liberty because they want to at least have a shot to get back in it. If they don't get off the field here, it's not going to be pretty.
4-man rush. Clean pocket for Bo Nix. And as is usually the case, on a line to Trayshawn Holden for a first down.
Well, it's not looking pretty. Trayshawn Holden threatened him with speed. Whoop, sit it down. Nice job. Then the spin move on the sideline. I mean, he's out there toying with him. Nice job. Just get off me, son. Can't even get his shirt to get him out of bounds, man.
A little slip pass to Tez Johnson. His big day continues. It's another Oregon first down. A gain of 12 more for Tez Johnson.
And I just said it, Bob. If they didn't get off the field on that 3rd down, it wasn't going to be pretty because you go into halftime, you're down 31-6. Your coach comes in, he gives that fiery speech. You're going to go out there, they're going to get him in a 3 and out, and we're going to go down and we're going to score. And it doesn't happen. Immediately the defense is like, oh my gosh, here we go. It's going to be a long second half. They've got to swell up here and try to at least hold Oregon to a field goal.
Irving, a little stop start, the dead leg. Inside the 30, breaks a tackle, and he's got 9 more yards to the 24-yard line of Liberty.
You just watch Bucky Irving, look at the vision, gets outside, hits him with a 1-2 just to reset them, make them think he's going to cut inside and then burst outside. These guys are running around, not knowing where he's going to be. Is he going to cut? Is he going to run me over? Man, they're doing a really nice job featuring him today.
Jalen Jimerson is down for Liberty, so we'll step aside. An injury timeout. Starting the day at the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl. Next up, the college football playoff semifinals here on ESPN, as well as ESPN Deportes and ESPN Plus. Michigan, Alabama in the Rose Bowl game presented by Prudential. That's next. Washington, Texas in the All-State Sugar Bowl. That comes up as the nightcap and a live look on the team bus for Alabama. The Crimson Tide on their way to the Rose Bowl to get set to take on Michigan. Can't wait to bring you both of those games.
They're looking strong on that bus right now.
Trick play, a flea flicker, back to Bo Nix. They set up the screen to Tez Johnson. Blockers in front, a freeway to the end zone for a touchdown.
Oh my goodness, look at the creativity there.
A reverse flea flicker screen pass. That is imaginative, to say the least.
How many different guys touched the ball on that one? That was incredible.
And a look at his dad, Patrick Nix, for Bo Nix, watching him play his final college football game and taking in every moment.
Uh-oh.
So the replay booth buzzed down. And I'm not sure what element of this play they're taking a look at, but it is brother to adopted brother, Bo Nix to Tez Johnson, as things stand right now on the trick play touchdown. I guess they want to check and make sure that Johnson got in and stayed in bounds, which he very clearly did.
Yeah. Stayed in bounds, ball stayed inside the pylon. I mean, you would think it's all good. Not even close to being out of bounds.
Okay. Well, if the element of this play that they're looking at, and I can't think of anything else, is whether or not Tez Johnson was in bounds all the way down the sideline. He was very clearly in bounds. Here's the quick review.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
As expected, 5 different touchdown receivers for Bo Nix, as he has spread it around with 5 touchdown passes. And that completion, by the way, as things stand right now, nudges Bo Nix 1/100% ahead of Mac Jones for the single-season NCAA record for completion percentage as well. He's already broken the touchdown and yardage records of Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, he has. And you're talking about they're going to bring this guy in motion, bring another guy this way, get another guy to get it back to Bo Nix, and then he's going to make this completion to his brother from another mother in Tez Johnson, who's the first one who touches the football. Nice job getting down low to make the play happen. They got a convoy of offensive linemen in front of him, and then he flies into the end zone like a true duck would.
Welcome back to the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl. What a day for Tez Johnson, and what a journey for him and his brother Bo Nix. These guys were high school teammates. And Tez Johnson struggled in high school, getting into trouble. He was from a single mother. So Patrick Nix, who was also his head coach, they talked about it. He said, why don't you come live with us for a while? And so he did. And what a crazy journey this has been, because Tez Johnson grew up an Oregon fan. In fact, the first time he stepped in the Nix household, he was wearing an Oregon t-shirt, and Mom said, you got to take that off if you're going to live here. Well, then Bo Nix transfers from Oregon. He gets the call, or from Auburn, gets the call to go to Eugene. And Tez says to him, you gotta go, you're living my dream. Meanwhile, Tez, he was playing at Troy. He then decides to put his name in the transfer portal. So Bo Nix goes to his head coach, Dan Lanning, and says, listen, I don't know if you're looking for a 5'9" wide receiver, but I got a guy you gotta go check out. He brings him up to Eugene. Their story of how he's been adopted into this Nix family has been incredible. The thing I love the most, I said, how did you know when you were comfortable enough in that family to be able to feel like a family in that household? And his response was, when I could go about the 3rd night into the pantry and start stealing snacks, I knew that that's when I was family. He said, but the thing that they've taught me most, right and wrong, how to be a man, and I can still go to Bo and the Nix family whenever I want and get those life lessons when I need it.
Just an amazing story. Great job, Chris. These two, and the thing I took away in listening to their story as we got ready for this bowl game was the fact that Tez Johnson said they changed and saved his life. That's important. These two have a bond off the field that's incredible.
Yeah, the fact that when Tez Johnson was growing up, he was watching Oregon play all the time on television when they really burst onto the scene as a real national brand and just fell in love with the gear and the colors and their style of play. His favorite possession, he said when he was in grammar school, was his Oregon hoodie. And to not only then have his adoptive brother transfer to play at Oregon, to have Bo Nix rewrite the story of his career, and then for them to join each other, both transferring to Eugene, and now the day that they're having the last time they will play a college football game together is this. Bo Nix setting records at 166 yards and now a touchdown for Tez Johnson. It's a fairy tale story to come from really difficult circumstances for Tez Johnson growing up.
Yeah, and it's the stories that like this that make college football so special. This humanizes these guys, and for them to be able to have this type of success together, it's not just a dream come true. They're living their absolute best life possible.
A dive for Caden Salter on the option. He keeps it and picks up the first down. And it has been an attack all day long between Nix and his adopted brother.
Yes, it has, and it's been everywhere. Short passes, long passes, throwback passes, push passes. They've been finding a way to get the ball to what is now their best receiver on the football field. And it's a special feeling when we were doing this in Alabama with your brother, and now you're getting to do it on the West Coast with the Oregon Ducks.
Breaking free, Quentin Cooley down the sideline. Liberty in business inside the 25-yard line. On the scamper by Quentin Cooley.
Quentin Cooley, the bowling ball they call him, got tired of us telling all those stories about Bo Nix and his brother. He said, we're going to get back to the football game. I'm going to run into the end zone, make y'all talk about us in some type of way.
Quentin Cooley grew up in very difficult circumstances as well. When he was in grammar school, his mom's boyfriend was really abusive, to the point that his brother snuck out of the house at one point and called 911. The police came and took the kids away. Salter flips one on the right flat to Vaughn Blue, and he's bumped out of bounds at the 22-yard line. So Quentin Cooley, when you talk about being able to find a new pathway through life and at Liberty become the football player that he is, transferring from Wake Forest, where he was caught a little bit in the shuffle as a player that got banged up, and now proving what he can do at Liberty. A great way for him to continue his college football career.
Yeah, he's been extremely effective in the running game, and he's a true testament of in life, it's not always what happens to you, it's about how you respond. He took that hardship off the field, and it's made him a better player, person, and I'm glad that he was able to be the Conference USA Newcomer of the Year with everything that he's been through. Amazing year for Quentin Cooley.
Caden Salter into the red zone, stood up at about the 18-yard line. Chris?
When I talked with Cooley about it this week, one thing that struck me was he said a lot of people talk about football, and yes, football saved me and it gave me a team, but people talk about releasing anger. What it did for me was it released love. He wants to be a coach when he is done with football. He says that doesn't work out. I love to mentor kids, get to change the narrative, that even if you grow up in an abusive household, you can come out on the other end.
That's amazing. You don't have to repeat the mistakes or the things that have been done towards you. And Chris, just another phenomenal job of telling these guys stories.
Quarterback draw on third down. Salter bouncing around, couldn't slip free. So now it will be fourth down, and you'd have to think in the red zone, Liberty will go for it. Jeffrey Pasa, another tackle for Oregon.
So you hear 4th and 5. Your best player on the football field is your quarterback in Caden Salter. I've said this time and time again, Bob, but you have to give him a run-pass option, and what I mean by that is maybe move the pocket. But if you're going to go spread out like it looks like they are right here, give him an opportunity to find a hole and make a run if the throw is not there.
The ball's batted down at the line. Amarion Winston got a right hand up and knocked down the slant from Salter, and it's a takeaway on downs inside the 20-yard line for Oregon.
Yeah, you're going to see. He's right there, free runner at the QB. He's trying to get the ball out. Hands up, what we playing? Volleyball, knocks the ball down. Nice job by Mr. Winston, smoking on that flame pack.
The College Football Playoff Foundation and ESPN are celebrating 10 years of teaming up to support teachers with a new postseason initiative. Touchdown for Teachers. $1,000 is donated to local schools for every touchdown scored during a bowl game. You can visit touchdownforteachers.org for more information. What a great initiative. So Bo Nix alone is responsible for $5,000 being donated because he keeps on chucking touchdowns and he is staying in.
Shout out to the teachers out there, you know, shaping our youth. They all deserve a pay raise.
Screen pass to the tight end Terrence Ferguson with a stiff arm. Out to the 35 before he's wrestled out.
And for Oregon, there's been a common theme today of taking high percentage passes, not trying to necessarily play scared, but playing to not hurt yourself. You know that you're the more talented team. Get the ball in the hands of your playmakers and allow them to go make plays. Right there, Terrence Ferguson turns a no-yard gain into a big gain simply because he's a dynamic, big tight end.
A toss to Jordan James. Well, Bo Nix with that tremendous second quarter, and now he's hit on 14 consecutive completions. As things stand right now, he just has nudged ahead of Mac Jones for the all-time single-season record for completion percentage, and he has moved past both of Marcus Mariota's records set back in 2014 for passing yards and passing touchdowns.
Yeah, and at that point, you would think that it might be time for them to pull him out of the game. He's done what he came here to do, win the game, obviously, and have the records. Let him go to the NFL and have a great career there as well.
James again for a first down. And Auburn years for Bo Nix. He played 34 games at Auburn and was responsible for 57 total touchdowns. This is his 27th game at Oregon, so 7 less starts. 95 touchdowns responsible for at Oregon. Why do you think the switch from kind of the alma mater and the legacy program to Oregon has been so great for Bo Nix?
I think it's been a couple things. Obviously, the pressure of being there and being a legacy at Auburn took its toll a little bit on Bo Nix, but coming out here, he understood that he needed to have a greater balance between playmaking ability and protecting the football. And when we talked to Dan Lanning, that's what he echoed to us. Listen, this kid is super talented. He can make every single throw. There's not anything he hasn't seen because he started 61 games in college football. But at the same time, your coaches have to believe in you. And Bob, I'm telling you, Dan Lanning and this staff have poured so much into Bo Nix, and from a confidence perspective, it's showcasing itself the last 2 years on the field.
Well, earlier in the season, I had the game against Washington State for Oregon, had a chance to talk to Bo Nix that week, and we talked about his Auburn years, and he was very candid and very honest about how hard those years were. As he's going to fire one up the seam and complete behind Terrence Ferguson. That's going to drop him behind Mac Jones, at least for the time being, for that completion percentage record.
Yeah, and you see he just misses this by about 2 to 3 yards back behind Terrence Ferguson. Not sure he thought maybe there was going to be a defender closer to him there, but put that ball right in the middle of his chest and allow him to go make another nice big gain for you right there. They got to start pushing P and get the push pass going again here for Bo Nix to get that record.
3rd down and 8 at midfield. That's Bucky Irving into the backfield. They'll hand it to him, and with speed to the edge and a cutback, he might have the first down. Right at the line to gain, and it looks like he got there.
Yes, he did. You see him coming across the formation. Speed in space always wins the race. Try to get your guys to the edge as fast as you possibly can. Look at him pulling out the hurdle technique. Nado Nehemiah, Allen Johnson, all those guys would be extremely excited to see that.
The ruling on the field is the ball carrier made the line to gain. Previous plays under further review.
They're going to check the spot of the run by Bucky Irving to see if indeed it is a first down. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. Replay did, after buzzing down, rule that Bucky Irving was a ½ yard short of the line to gain as his knee hit and the ball was just shy. So it will be 4th down and less than a yard for Oregon, just inside the 43 of Liberty, and they will leave their offense on the field. Have Jordan James out there with Bo Nix.
Yeah, pretty clear that he was short of the line to gain there. Knee comes down, the ball is dead at that spot, not where the forward momentum goes, and even with the forward momentum, he didn't get it either.
Straight ahead, Jordan James, first down. Let's go down to Chris.
Bob, you guys are keeping track of the NCAA completion percentage record, and I can tell you some of the Oregon staff down here is keeping track of it. They don't know if Dan Lanning is getting update by update with each pass, but there are staff members who are constantly looking at their phone.
Well, for every incompletion, he would need 4 completions to move back ahead of the number, and he did hook up for 1, so he'd need 3 more in a row to get past Mac Jones. Here's a rollout for Nix. Zings one to the sideline. There's a hook up to Trayshawn Holden for a first down. We were talking earlier about the move from Bo Nix from Auburn to Oregon. Look, he was the Gatorade National Player of the Year coming out of high school. And you're going to play at your dad's school. You grew up, War Eagle was all you were ever taught. And he was very honest talking to him earlier this year about, in the age of social media, especially in the SEC, how hard that was.
Yeah, it can be very hard with the rabid fan bases, but even more than that, I think it was just the fact that he hadn't had consistency from the offensive coordinator position or head coach.
As Johnson, that's another completion for Bo Nix.
And I tell you, like, as a quarterback, when you look at the greatest of all time in the NFL, it's Tom Brady. 100% as you see them run yet another push pass right there. So now he's at 3, maybe needs 1 more to get back in front of that record, Bob. But when you look at the greatest of all time in the NFL, it's Tom Brady. Ran the same entire offense his entire career. Even when he went to Tampa Bay, they put implements of his offense into that offense. So now Bo goes in with the same offense in back-to-back years, or should I say at least similar, and you see how the consistency can help your play continue to rise.
Dumps one off to Patrick Herbert, Justin's brother, and he's down at about the 10-yard line. Pickup of 12.
Another easy completion. Whoop. Little boot action, slip the tight end out into the flat, who's normally been blocking for these running backs in the running game. There it is. He should have the record again, right, Bob?
As things stand now. He did get inside the 10 to the 9-yard line, did Patrick Herbert, so it is 1st and goal. Irving hunting for room, getting a push. Stopped at the 5-yard line. And this may take us to the end of the 4th quarter. Will it end the day for Bo Nix? If it does, he has nudged back ahead of Mac Jones for that single season all-time record.
And the crazy thing is, the guy that you see on your screen right there in Bo Nix, I don't think he even cares, guys. I don't think he's playing this game because he's worried about how many more completions he needs to break a record or how many yards. He's playing for the love of it.
Will Bo Nix continue playing this afternoon, or will that do it for the collegiate career of Bo Nix? We're about to find out as we head to the 4th. Back to the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl. Dan Lanning standing by with Chris Button.
Coach, a couple easy passes gets Bo Nix the NCAA completion record. What's next for his day?
We got to go punch this one in. We're down here at the goal line. It's time to go get another score.
What has he given this team today?
Yeah, everything he's got, just like he does every single week. This guy prepares like a champion every week, and now he's playing like one.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, we start the 4th quarter with Bo Nix and most of the starters for Oregon still out there with a 38-6 lead, 2nd down and goal.
You gotta love Dan Lanning, man. Completely locked in, not worrying about anything but scoring on this drive.
And you said the same about Bo Nix, that he is completely locked in. He'll shovel one to Bucky Irving, and he'll get to the goal line and be brought down just short.
Looked like Bucky Irving was going to be able to slide through there. Nice little pitch out, hits his man in stride. Knee goes down, ball short. Guess you have to ask the question again, will they throw the football?
Well, 3rd down and goal inside the 1 for the number 3 rush offense in the Pac-12, and number 3 in America in terms of yards per carry. Flag down, Irving dives, he's into the end zone for the touchdown. We'll have to check the marker thrown at the line of scrimmage and see if someone was lined up in the neutral zone.
offside. Defense number 2, lined up in the neutral zone. Penalties decline. Touchdown.
So the touchdown for Oregon extends their lead to begin the fourth quarter.
They did exactly what we said. You see number 2 right here at the bottom of your screen. He is clearly lined up offsides in the neutral zone. He must have went to the Kadarius Toney School of lining up and decided to get a little head start there.
Making friends in Kansas City. Robert Griffin III. Well done.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you.
Nice job. They're loving you in the Heartland. Camden Lewis tacks on the point after. 6 Oregon touchdowns by 6 different players. Bo Nix, another record holder as things stand right now. Maybe his day is done. Well, kudos to Taco Bell as they brought the Live Mas student sections and their students to the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl. Taco Bell's picking up the tab for students from both schools that came to the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl today, so Liberty and Oregon passionate fans could come and cheer on their teams. The Live Mas student section celebrated all year long at college football games by Taco Bell.
Shout out to those 2 fan bases and fans all over the world, because without them, this game is not what it is, and we don't get to do the job that we do. So we love you guys. Appreciate you.
Only one offensive possession for Liberty in the third quarter. And it's been nothing but touchdowns since the start of the second quarter for Oregon. Getting set for the Rose Bowl game, Jalen Milroe walking down the tunnel into about the prettiest setting that you could ever see for college football. There is nothing like the blue sky of Pasadena when everyone's in the dark on the East Coast in the middle of winter, when that game would come on television every year growing up, and Jalen Milroe will be right in the middle of it. The college football playoff semifinals begin as soon as we're done here in Glendale. Billy Lucas, 3 yards for Liberty.
And you saw that Lank shirt that he had on. Let a naysayer know. Bet he's ready to get after some naysayers today. We actually called that game against South Florida that they had where they struggled without him. And after that game, they completely revamped their entire offense to do what he does best. And I tip my hat to Nick Saban for doing what was best for the team and building around a quarterback that is extremely dynamic.
Signs from the Oregon sideline, by the way, that it looks like Bo Nix's day is done as Caden Salter close to a first down, but the true freshman Austin Novosad is warming up over on the sideline. We even saw the walk-on true freshman Brock Thomas, who they're very high on, also taking some practice throws over. That's Novosad on the Duck sideline. And spoke with Will Stein yesterday and Dan Lanning, and they both said that should Bo Nix have the game we expect that he will have, and if the score is lopsided, they would like to get both freshmen in the game. So they may both play here in the fourth quarter as Billy Lucas picks up the first down. So if indeed, RG3, this is a wrap on the career of Bo Nix, not only at Oregon, but also add in the Auburn numbers, that's a pretty impressive run.
Yes, it is. And I think all of college football fans would say thank you to Bo Nix. He's a true story of when you stick with a quarterback and you help him grow and develop, maybe the first stop isn't the place for him to be. Maybe he needed to use the transfer portal and utilize all of the things that college football has on the table for student athletes today to become the best player he could be. I'm happy for him, happy for his family, and look forward to calling games with him in the NFL soon.
Billy Lucas was wide open on the check down. Run out by Bassa, but picked up 20 yards.
You know, earlier I called Bo Nix the Mary Stifler of college football. You know, he's a married man. He knows what he wants. He understands what this game can do for him. I believe he is better than Mel Kiper's projection of being the 6th best quarterback in this draft. And just the fact that he played today when he didn't have to and there was no real benefit to him doing it shows a lot about his football character.
Billy Lucas brought down for a 1-yard loss. Chris.
Might not be the last we see of Bo Nix. Definitely will be the last pass he throws, but I'm hearing that they want to go out for one more play, him passing off to Bucky Irving one final time.
And maybe getting a curtain call in front of all the Oregon fans. That would be a good way to go out.
What do you think the play is going to be? Is it going to be a pass?
He's putting the helmet back on.
If it's a pass, it's going to be a push pass. That is the name of the game today.
Aaron Bedgood again, the motion man. And on a string, Salter trying to squeeze one into Noah Frith, and that falls incomplete.
You can see the frustration building for Caden Salter in this offense. They're one of the most explosive offenses in the entire country. And today, they had a focus on not wanting to change the mac and cheese, right? Don't change what got you there, the triple option. On defense, we're going to play single high, and we're going to play man. And Oregon just came out and out-executed them. Don't get too heavy on yourself right now. Work to finish this game so that you can go into the offseason knowing that you did not quit. Never let another team make you quit.
Blitz coming on third down. Trying to escape is Salter. And he'll just throw this one down the sideline. A hope throw for C.J. Daniels. Or check that for Frith. It'll be fourth down.
When you make that jump up in competition, which this is certainly a jump up for Liberty, Caden Salter was at Tennessee. He understands the difference in how much faster the defense can be in the defensive line, and every move you make in Conference USA is not going to work against this Pac-12 Oregon defense. I'd like to see him continue to work on his craft of playing the quarterback for however many more minutes he gets in this game.
Well, you play poorly today, and obviously Liberty's upset with how they've played. The score is what it is, as they'll punt it away here, but this should not in any way diminish the season that these kids from Liberty have had, as that one, it looks like, is going to find the end zone for a touchback. A 13-0 season for the Flames coming into the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl.
Having friends over for the next game? Just tell Siri. Text Sam. Don't forget the pizza. The Vrbo Fiesta Bowl is brought to you by Vrbo, private vacation rentals, football away, AT&T, connecting changes everything, and Taco Bell.
That halftime field goal, by the way, from 30 yards out, won one lucky family $5,000 and one key cash towards a Vrbo vacation. Congratulations, enjoy your trip. That's a 30-yard field goal.
That's a good kick. We
yes.
got to get him on College game day so he can make a little bit more money. But that was an amazing kick, and make a field goal, get some cash, not a bad deal.
All right, so now we start this drive with Bo Nix in at quarterback. And we'll see if, as Chris Budden heard down on the sideline and predicted, this may be a curtain call moment for Bo Nix. In the backfield with Bucky Irving to his right. There's the handoff with flags down. And Irving weaves his way for 6.
Now, Mr. Ref. We've already seen what's been going on in the NFL with the referees. Can't really be ruining these moments.
Illegal motion, number 86 offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
First and 15 at the 15.
Bo Nix didn't want to end his career on a loss. I have a feeling he's not going to end his career on a penalty either.
So now first and 15, back to the 15. Same formation. Another handoff to Irving. Finds a cutback lane and picks up about 7 to make it 3rd down and 8. And here comes the quarterback change.
And look, Bo Nix is not worried about it. He thinks he's running another play, and now his guys let him know that he's getting off the field. And look at this reaction from his teammates. They love this guy.
The curtain call for Bo Nix.
Quarterback for Oregon, number 16, Austin Novosad.
Next stop, the National Football League for Bo Nix, and he will go out a winner. Austin Novosad with the handoff to Irving, and he weaves his way again through tackles out close to the 40-yard line. A gain of 17.
And you see that emotion from his mom and dad, Bo Nix's parents. They've been on this journey with him from Auburn, being the legacy there, a place where his dad played ball, and then coming to the West Coast to go play for the Oregon Ducks.
And now a curtain call as well for Bucky Irving, as he got a big hug from Bo Nix after that last carry for Irving puts him at 117 yards rushing. The emotions will be flowing with his family as well, as Novosad with a swing pass that ends up going for a loss. But without Troy Franklin here, he opted out for the bowl game. And you have the two other most prolific offensive players for Oregon having terrific games, and they both get a curtain call in front of all the Ducks fans that made the trip.
Yeah, and it feels like with these Oregon players and these Oregon teams, you always have some guy that was just one of the most explosive players in the country. But I just come back to looking at the reaction from Bo Nix's parents of just how much it means to us. I'm a girl dad of 4, and when I see my kids have these types of moments in their lives, it's an exciting thing, and you get taken back to all the emotions and all the hard times and all the challenges that you had to face along that journey. And I know that all the parents out there feel the same pain and feel the same emotions that their sons and daughters feel in these types of moments.
So Austin Novosad getting a chance to play for only the second time this year. 3rd down and 14. He'll roll one out. And short hops. A 3rd and 14 pass intended for Kenyon Sadiq. So Oregon will kick it away as we approach the midway point of the 4th quarter.
When you look at Austin Novosad, he's a guy that was a late flip from a school that I'm not sure if I'm too familiar with him. It's Baylor University. He was a late flip to Oregon.
He must have liked the colors at least.
Something. Just, you love something about it. But he's getting an opportunity to play here with a couple minutes left in the 4th. And he's going to have a lot of competition coming in next year with Dylan Gabriel and Dante Moore, which we all feel that Dylan Gabriel will be the starter.
Barely getting a wobbly kick away was Luke Dunn. It rolls down and is scooped up by C.J. Daniels, and he pays the price at the 24-yard line.
45-yard line.
45-6, Oregon has the lead midway through the 4th.
By number 14,
And the curtain call was there for Bo Nix, and he meets Dan Lanning on the sideline as his collegiate career comes to an end. You are watching the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl. J.J. McCarthy off the bus in Pasadena, set for the Rose Bowl game as Michigan takes on Alabama coming up next. Now, J.J. McCarthy, RG3, you said is the key as far as you're concerned. And the first 9 games, they didn't play any ranked opponents. 4 ranked opponents, or 3, I should say, in their last 4 games. They won. His numbers dipped, maybe the stiffest challenge of all against Alabama after surviving against Ohio State. That comes up next.
Yeah, you look at J.J. McCarthy, and you just so eloquently stated it. It's a concern with the huge drop-off. Were they just resting him? Were they didn't need him to be that, and his passing yards per game dropped so significantly? Well, they're going to need him in this game against a really good Alabama team that knows their identity and has a quarterback on the other side who's been helping them score tons and tons of points.
Quentin Cooley looks like he's got enough for the first down. I wonder if you think, or you would agree, that the biggest factor in that game, can they take the heat off of McCarthy?
Yeah.
And run it with Corum and control the line of scrimmage against that Alabama front 7?
Yeah, and that's the thing. You've never really had someone question that other than Georgia being able to match up with the physicality of Alabama. But at this point, Michigan has been so dominant over the past 3 years in the trenches. They have built up a reputation of being a physical force up front. Can they bully that Alabama defensive line? We don't know, but we do know that if Blake Corum gets near the end zone, he's going to score because he's got about 7,000 of those this year already.
They did mark Cooley just shy of the first down, so this run by Caden Salter will get Liberty a fresh set of downs. You know the Flames would love to go down and at least get another touchdown on the board. They scored on the opening possession of the game. They won the toss, and oftentimes teams will defer. They didn't. They took the ball, shot right down the field, and put it in the end zone. That's been it since.
This very well may be their last possession of the game. We don't know. But all they can control is what they do on this field right now. This is a character-building moment for Caden Salter, who has already been through so much in his young career, showed extreme development this year, and wants to play in the NFL next year. Continue to play hard, make great decisions. Uh-oh, ball's
C.J.
out.
Daniels lost the football, and Oregon has it back after that huge hit, and Daniels slow to get up.
Just as we're talking about, make sure you finish strong and try to go out of this game in some type of a positive note. Boom, disaster strikes. Here they are running the zone read, getting the ball out into the flat to a receiver. And the DB just puts his helmet right on the football.
That's a true freshman, Roderick Pleasant, that jarred it free. So Oregon has it back at midfield with 6:07 to go.
And at 5'9", 180 pounds, Roderick Pleasant was a guy that they were really looking forward to getting into this football game. And then he's out there and makes an impact play. And guys, he ran a 10:09 in the 100 meters coming out of high school. True track speed out there getting physical. I love it.
Jurion Dickey makes an appearance, and he has a very bright future as far as the Oregon coaches are concerned. He's a freshman wide receiver, a torn meniscus as a high school senior that pretty much knocked him out for the entire season. He has absorbed the playbook, rehabbed, and is now ready to play. But I mean, we talked to Will Stein yesterday. He said this kid was the best high school wide receiver on the West Coast before tearing his meniscus.
Yeah, he was so good they gave him number 99 so he can go out there and truly shine at wide receiver.
A toss to Jaden Lamar, another freshman. And he goes down behind the line. Another tackle for Tyron Dupree.
But no, in all seriousness for Jurion Dickey, being a 6'2", 215-pounder who can run, he was really struggling coming off of an injury out of high school to where he wasn't able to run full speed. At times he said he was only able to run about 75%. Well, when you get into these bowl games and you get that extra 3.5 weeks of practices, guys like this can develop so much faster. He's getting more reps because Troy Franklin is not going to be playing in the game, and they really were impressed with what he did during the bowl practices.
They'll run it and come up about a yard shy with Lamar getting to the 40-yard line. So it will be 4th and 1 for Oregon with 4.5 minutes to go.
And I have to say this about Dan Lanning. We saw that reaction or that moment with him and Bo Nix on the sideline. And when I asked him, hey, when someone comes to Oregon under Dan Lanning, what are they going to get? And his response was, you're going to get a coach that you feel is wrapping his arms around your neck and your shoulders and saying, I'm out there with you. I am playing this game with you. And he has such a sinister joy of the game of football that you feel like when he talks, not only is he going to get you to run through a wall, but he's going to run through the wall too.
Novosad over the middle, first down.
Well, I guess that's why Baylor wanted him, because he can make some big throws inside the pocket, reads the whole field, gets to his backside, and throws a face ball. Hit the man right in the face with the football, so he cannot have any excuses as to why it was a drop. Nice throw there by the big, lanky Austin Novosad.
First catch for Darian Anderson, moves the chains with 3.5 minutes to go. Another carry for Jaden Lamar. Loss of 1.
And I feel like we could tell 1,000 Dan Lanning stories, but this one really hit me. When I asked Coach Lanning about what the other coaches were saying. Hey, they're talking about your roster, and they're saying there's blue chips all over the place. You guys are super talented. Are you flattered by that? And his answer to me was, no, we don't care about that. We're focused on being the best versions of ourselves, and it's not Liberty's fault that they're the team that we have to face.
That stood out to you.
Oh, my goodness. When he hit me with that cold-blooded line, I knew it was probably going to be some fireworks out here today.
Little hook and ladder to Jaden Lamar. And he's down to the 24-yard line. Well, when you said sinister joy,
yes,
it's an interesting description for a head coach. What do you mean by that?
It's you always feel like when you look at Dan Lanning, he's got some thoughts going through his head that you're not sure what's going on, but you know it's coming from a good place, and it's coming from a good place for his guys. The famous line this year, or phrase should I say, of they're playing for clicks, we're playing for wins. You feel the reaction from the locker room in that moment. He knows how to galvanize his players and let them know that they're going to be physical and a tough out every single time they're on the field.
Lamar slips out of the backfield and gets all the way down to the 6-yard line.
I mean, Lamar, talking about Jaden Lamar, number 27, does a really nice job, as you said, Bob, of slipping into that open field. There was some pressure to the quarterback's face, and he had to wiggle his way, get skinny through the hole to make that happen. Those are the little things that sometimes we don't pay attention to, and even in a game that's 45-6, I still appreciate great-looking football plays.
And it looks like they may go victory formation now, as Oregon gets it all the way down to the 6-yard line. Novosad will keep the clock rolling as he will take a knee and make this win for Oregon in the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl. Official aerial coverage today provided by Goodyear. Road tested and game ready. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven.
Well, Bob, we came into this game trying to figure out if David could beat Goliath. I told you, well, the way that story goes, David wins. Well, today, the Goliath that was Oregon ended up putting their best foot forward and showing that they were the better team. Bo Nix playing meant so much more to college football and to his teammates than it ever did to his career. And I'm happy to have been able to call games with you guys this entire season. It's been a true joy.
And a joy to watch Bo Nix wrap up his collegiate career with a terrific performance. The Oregon Ducks are the champions of the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl. For the 6th time since 2010, they author a 12-win season. And the celebration on for the Ducks. There have been some messages sent by teams in some of these New Year's Six games. And Oregon certainly sent a message today with a dominant performance. The Ram Trucks postgame is about to get underway. We will have our trophy ceremony. We'll have some highlights coming up as well. All of that begins when we return to Glendale. Congratulations to Oregon. Welcome to the Ram Trucks postgame here at the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl. The celebration on for the Oregon Ducks as they dominate Liberty with a 45-6 win, 5 touchdown passes in his farewell game for Bo Nix. And a moment ago, he spoke with Chris Button.
Here at Bo Nix is taking home the game ball. You wanted to play on this one so that you could end your Oregon career with a W. You did that. What's it meant to play one more time with these guys?
It's meant the world. You know, it's just such a great opportunity for me to be able to come out here and play with such an incredible team. And, you know, the coaches that we have and the year that we had, you know, I felt it'd be only right that I come out here and play one more time. You know, I couldn't wait for this game to get out here and to play one more time. You know, I think it just summed everything up, you know, with my college career. And, you know, I wouldn't have been here without those guys. So it was the least I could do to show my appreciation.
Your college career was a lot of football games and a lot in this uniform, your final one. Can you sum up what it's meant to play in a Ducks uniform?
I mean, it's been one of the best decisions I could have ever made. I think the history and the tradition of this university and this team, to be able to represent it, in the way that we did. It's an honor to me, and I'm just extremely blessed and fortunate. The Lord ordered my steps, and all I had to do was just follow. And He's been so good to me, probably too good, to be honest with you. But I wouldn't have traded the last 2 years for anything.
You broke a lot of records today, which is why you're holding this ball. Where's it going?
This will go home with me somewhere, and eventually when I get all settled down, I'll have to frame it and put it somewhere. And I've got a few of them in college, and this one's definitely special.
Congratulations, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Go Ducks, and God is good.
A dominant performance for Oregon, a terrific farewell for Bo Nix at RG3. As you said, when you saw him at the Heisman, it told you a lot when he said, I want to go out a winner, I want to play one more game. And this is probably everything that he could have dreamed of and more.
Yeah, for Bo Nix, it wasn't about the numbers. You saw all the stats. You saw all the records that he was able to break. But I say stats are like bikinis. They show you a lot, but they don't show you everything. This was all about winning for Bo Nix, going out the right way for his college career. He played for his teammates. He did it for the right people, not for himself. And I'm so happy that the way that college football is structured today, guys like Bo Nix can go in the transfer portal, find their home, and start to truly fly.
Congratulations to Oregon as they win the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl. The Rose Bowl game is coming up next for Robert Griffin III and Chris Budden. I'm Bob Wischusen saying so long from Glendale. When we come back, Reese Davis and company are in Pasadena. And we will be by with the Ram Trucks post-game after these messages. Join us on ESPN News for the post-game ceremony and stay right here. Our coverage of the Rose Bowl game begins.
Welcome to the Ram Trucks College Football pregame.
The long